In the headlines, one man dead after a road accident in St. James. Commuters promise improved service from the Transport Board. The St. John MP speaks out on the opposition leader's plans to contest the next elections in his constituency. And in sports, the Windies coach expects an improvement against India for the second test.
The headline news is brought to you by National Transformation Initiative, shaping the Star Bajan.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin this evening on a sad note. Barbados has recorded its latest road fatality. It's the result of an accident involving two vehicles this afternoon along the Garden St. James. CBC's Anne-Mark Goodrich-Boyce has that story.
Josiah Carmichael, a former St. Leonard's Boys student, was a passenger in one of these two vehicles which collided, leading to his untimely death at the scene. Now his mother, Natalie Carmichael, is struggling to come to grips with the sudden loss of her firstborn son. When CBC cameras arrived, Natalie described Josiah as a promising young man with a bright future.
Josiah had a whole future ahead of him. Josiah was my backbone. Trust me. There's nobody in the neighborhood that can tell you nothing bad about Josiah. Josiah could be one like you don't know. Anybody can call Josiah and ask Josiah to come and do a favor. Ain't gotta be money related. He can get it and he can come and do it. Out of a willing heart, out of a kind heart. I don't know. He come and snatch my first job from me. I don't know.
Miss Carmichael recounted her final conversation with Josiah before he left home earlier.
He told me, Mommy, Chrissy can come for me. Give he 5 minutes. Started Chrissy to give he 5 minutes. Chrissy did drive by the truck. And I passed on the message as he did. When he was leaving home, he asked if to get in the back or if to get in the front. He didn't know get in the front. He took off the back and get in the front. With he doing that, I felt a lot comfortable than he being on the back of the truck. But I don't know. That this will be my last day of my child. Hearing from my child, getting a phone call like this. I really can't come together.
Police investigations are ongoing. Anne-Mark Goodrich-Boyce, CBC News.
Sad news indeed. Commuters in the north and central areas can expect better service from the Transport Board when another 35 electric buses arrive later this year. Chief Operations Officer of the Transport Board, Linda Holder, gave the assurance at the official handover for 30 buses that arrived earlier this year. Our Deanza Roberts has more.
At a signing ceremony marking the official handover of the 30 buses, which arrived on island earlier this year, Minister of Transport and Works, Santia Bradshaw, thanked China for the contribution. She said the partnership reflects the Barbados government's commitment to affordable and reliable public transport for all commuters. China's latest donation put the island's electric bus fleet at 89. And Minister Bradshaw said that by year end, the partnership will drive the numbers even further.
This is another signature moment for both countries in that they have assisted us in being able to ensure that ordinary Barbadians or commuters are able to have an easier flow of access across Barbados. And we are also looking forward to, in the next few months, certainly by the end of this year, adding another 35 buses to our electric bus fleet. That will enable us certainly to be able to not only have the largest electric bus fleet in this part of the Western Hemisphere, but certainly to alleviate a number of the concerns that have been expressed by commuters regarding the scheduling of buses, the accessibility of buses in a number of areas. Put simply, if we don't have the buses, we are challenged to be able to provide the support that is necessary to Barbadians.
Chief Operations Officer of the Transport Board, Linda Holder, says once the buses arrive, the focus will be on improving routes.
We're going to be plugging some holes that are still existing in the north of the island, and there are obviously some areas in the middle of the island that are also of concern to us. everyone has heard the complaints, and we are working to address all of those. So the new buses are coming, will be deployed to cover those areas first and foremost. But always remember that we always say we start with certain priorities, and our priorities will always start with getting the children to school first and foremost. So buses will go there first, and then we look at the areas that don't have any other form of public transport, which is why you will always hear say we're going to the north and the middle of the island. So once those come, we will then come back and give you more detail on which routes are actually going to be covered.
Meanwhile, Chinese ambassador to Barbados, John Bean Kai, says his government is pleased to continue supporting Barbados' vision and to strengthen the friendship between the two nations.
It's just one of the a testament of one of the projects we just achieved under leadership of Xi Jinping, our president, and Ms. Motley, the Prime Minister of Barbados. I think what makes this project so important is it's about the future, it's about the vision, it's about the people of the Barbados.
The new electric buses are equipped with the latest technology, another step in modernizing the public transport system while reducing Barbados' carbon footprint. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Well, parliamentarians from around the world are gathered in Barbados for the 68th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference. Under the theme, The Commonwealth, a Global Partner, the conference opened at Wyndham Grand Barbados last evening. While delivering opening remarks, Prime Minister Mia Motley said the Commonwealth nations are meeting at a time when democracy is under siege and partnership is necessary. Our Anesta Henry has a full report from that opening ceremony.
Prime Minister Mia Motley officially welcomed delegates to the conference, reminding them of the crucial role parliamentarians must play in drafting laws to widen opportunities for citizens. She is encouraging them to fund projects that will protect and preserve the planet.
And bind states to standards that keep the vulnerable safe and be a check on the executive, as is the responsibility of Parliament. We can prove that collective action is not utopia. It is good government done together. My friends, as we do this work, as we make global partnership a living promise, remember where I began. For the word is love, and it is love that will give us the energy and passion to recommit, to make it all work.
PM Motley says if ever there was a time for solidarity and a common partnership in the world, it is now.
For it looks too much like it did a century ago, which was the precursor, regrettably, to too much death and to too much tribulation. Let our opening conviction for love be our closing charge, and let the compass for our commonwealth and our common future be love.
The parliamentary conference brings together more than 600 delegates from over 180 national, state, and provincial legislatures across the Commonwealth. President of Barbados, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason, stressed the timeliness and relevance of debates that will take place during the conference.
In the current international environment, the rules-based multilateral system is being assaulted on all fronts, with extraordinary challenges being made to the political and security agenda, to trade arrangements, to international mandates on health, education and culture, to the climate crisis, and to development cooperation.
Secretary General of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, Stephen Twigg, says the CPA and the Commonwealth Secretariat will work together to deliver a shared commitment to good governance, human rights, and the rule of law.
As our conference theme rightly reminds us, the Commonwealth is a truly global partner, and we will discuss that on Friday at our General Assembly. Many of you I know will be attending the CPC for the first time, whilst others are, how should I put it, CPC veterans. All of you, whether here for the first time or veterans, are very welcome.
The conference will end next Sunday. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
The days of the Democratic Labour Party expecting unwavering support from St. John constituents are over. Member of Parliament for St. John, Charles Griffith, served the notice as opposition leader Ralph Thorne looks to run in that constituency in the next general election. Thorne, who won the Christchurch South seat on a Barbados Labour Party ticket before crossing the floor in 2024, recently announced his decision to contest the St. John riding. And MP Griffith wants him to say why he's leaving Christchurch South. The St. John MP also noted his achievements in the constituency.
This notion that you can just turn up in St. John and St. John people are going to support you because you're a Democratic Labour Party, I think those days are finished. St. John is rising. The work that was done in St. John over the last couple of years, 6 years, equates to more than what happened in 60 years prior to 2018. So I am surprised, like I said again, and I want to repeat for emphasis, if it is a case where you are elected twice by a constituency and you are saying to the people of St. John, elect me because I am this supposedly fantastic representative of the people, why are you running away from your constituency in Christchurch South? We have a national park that is coming, we have roads that are coming, we have a mini stadium that is in place. Over 40 or 50 pit toilets were removed from within the constituency under my tenure, and I still have more to do. But it is a gradual process, but people who realistically look at St. John, and like I said, juxtapose my representation against the ones that happened before, you will see that there's a very, very big difference in terms of what is happening in St. John. And more is to come in terms of development.
Coming up, a new state-of-the-art mobile clinic coming to help boost the island's breast cancer fight. The Barbados Cancer Society will be launching a new state-of-the-art mobile clinic, which will continue to play a key role in the island's breast cancer fight. Word of this from Medical Coordinator of the Cancer Society's breast screening program, Dr. Shirley Hanuman Jagru. She says the $100,000 clinic will replace the existing 18-year-old mobile van. Speaking on Morning Barbados, Dr. Jagru said the new clinic will be purchased with funds raised through this year's Walk for the Cure.
Every year that we have the Walk for the Cure or Breast Cancer Awareness Month, funds are raised. Now, I want to make sure that the public is aware of this. All that money goes into replacing or updating equipment. Our last equipment was the new tomogram or 3D mammogram. It cost us $1 million Barbados dollars. That was paid for cash. And we're hoping to do the same for this mobile vehicle. We've never borrowed, thank God. That program is truly blessed. Huh?
Weather officials say Tropical Storm Jerry is expected to pass well north of Barbados tomorrow. And though it's not expected to directly impact the island, the Barbados Meteorological Services is encouraging residents, especially those in the marine sector, to pay close attention to the tracking of the system. As of 5 o'clock this evening, Tropical Storm Jerry was about 345 miles east-northeast of the island. There are no storm watches or warnings, but a small craft and high surf warning is in effect. We'll have more on Tropical Storm Jerry later in our weather report with Carrie-Ann O'Neill.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power Inn. Pause is power. And by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
Time now for sports with Damien Best. Good evening to you, Damien.
Yeah, good evening to you, Tisha. Good evening to all viewers and listeners. Well, West Indies head coach Darren Sammy is expecting an improvement from his players for the second test against India, which starts tomorrow night Barbados time. Speaking at a media conference today, Coach Sammy said some of the players are lacking confidence and that has to change.
First, challenging the players to be more professional, to be more disciplined in their training, to have more belief in themselves, and again, when the game comes, trusting the preparation that they put in to the training to be able to put it into the game. I see some of the guys lack confidence, and it's something that that has to come from within you. But with lack of performances, it's always hard to rise yourself above that level. But my job is to continue to instill that in the way we pray, in the way we practice, the way we think, the way we plan and strategize. And I was just telling someone the conversations we had after the test, to see the way they came out there and really put a conscious effort to train better. I expect a little bit of some sort of improvement, at least in the way they think and the belief they have going into the test match.
Sammy, however, didn't give hope that the batting issues within the team will be solved ahead of the test match. He lamented the solutions are more long-term and they're also beyond the efforts of the on-tour coaching staff.
When you get on tour, it's to just fine-tune and maintain. But guys are coming on tour expecting, Floyd Reefer, the batting consultant, to fix techniques, which is, any coach will tell you it's impossible. The work has to be done before the tour starts, and we find that challenging. But the good thing is the director of cricket, Miles Bascom, the plans that he has, the specific skill work, the specific coaches that we trying to get to, look into these areas. Hopefully that could be sooner than later, and we could now have better performances from our batsmen. I know all the stats, how we are last in everything batting, and it's a challenge.
Major steps are being taken to ensure more Barbadians are involved in Paralympic sports. The Paralympic Association of Barbados and the Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean recently concluded a pilot project to enhance the organizational capacity of national Paralympic committees and advance social inclusion. Speaking at a media briefing today, President of the Paralympic Association of Barbados, Ryan Brathwaite, said following the pilot project, several initiatives have been developed with government and key stakeholders with agreement to commit to Paralympics from the grassroots level.
Today's forum presents an important opportunity for dialogue, a chance to hear from our partners, to engage with the findings, and to work together on identifying practical steps on building a stronger, more inclusive sporting ecosystem here in Barbados. As we move forward through this new Paralympic quadrennial, and as we look towards Los Angeles 2028 Paralympic Games, we recognize that real progress begins at home, in our communities, in our schools, and in the systems we build to support the next generation of para-athletes. The Paralympic Association of Barbados is committed to continuing this work. We are committed to raising the profile of para-sport, to creating more opportunities for participation, and to strengthen our partnerships, because together we can elevate the visibility and impact of the Paralympic movement in Barbados and across the Caribbean.
The Minister of Sports, Youth and Community Empowerment, Charles Griffith, revealed that government is doing its part to help increase participation in Paralympic sports through a memorandum of understanding with a university in Japan.
There will be an MOU in place between the government of Barbados and this university to provide training for coaches who will come back and impact the lives of those individuals who we believe should be involved and can get involved in para sports. As a government, we have done a lot in terms of retrofitting our facilities to ensure that access is there. The National Sports Council just purchased 2 buses, and they insisted that those buses are ready to facilitate persons with disability.
Meanwhile, government is set to commit resources to the Adaptive Aquatics program on the island. Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Ryan Strawn, says a sum of $100,000 will be allocated to ensure Barbadians with disabilities can learn to swim.
We are going to support the program at Camp Aquarius, which is at Bronx Beach, and we will work with the ministry to initially allocate $100,000 to make sure that the program of inclusion for all persons with disabilities, whether adults or children, can learn to swim, because we're on an island.
Yeah.
Our part of our wider mandate is to ensure that every Bajan can learn to swim. Yeah. And this specific intervention that we will work on is going to be critically important as part as to how we expose all of our people, to what is possible, not just in Barbados, but outside of Barbados.
A program to provide a workforce more equipped for the reform of Barbados maritime regulatory reform is set to launch. The Ministry of Tourism and International Transport and its partners today signed agreements for a national maritime training and employment program at the offices of the Barbados Tourism Investment Incorporated. Minister of Tourism and International Transport Ian Gooding-Edgell said the signing marks a significant milestone in efforts to ensure sustainability and compete on the global stage. The memorandums of understanding involve the ministry and key institutions, including the Barbados Community College, the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, and the Barbados Institute of Management and Productivity (BIMAP). Minister Gooding-Edgell said the students will gain significantly from the program.
Students will benefit in the following ways: local access to tertiary level training and educational institutions, providing academic, technical, and vocational maritime programs. Access by CARICOM and non-CARICOM students to maritime training and educational opportunities in Barbados. Access to internship opportunities with Barbados' partners in the national, regional, and international maritime domains. Support in sourcing employment opportunities in the national, regional, and international maritime arena. Support in commencing and maintaining maritime entrepreneurship ventures.
The minister says the program ensures Barbados remains compliant with maritime standards.
We are also inking our commitment to continued international maritime compliance through elevating the BCC, BIMAP, and the SJPI to the status of maritime compliance facilitators from the training and education viewpoint. This, in effect, means that these participating educational institutions will be intentionally designing their maritime programs of study to meet the demands of the ever-evolving shore-based and seagoing maritime workforce. They will also be intentionally designing their programs to provide the competency areas to support employment and entrepreneurship opportunities to match the human resources profiles that will be necessary to continuously and effectively implementing the newer suites of maritime legislation.
Minister of Agriculture, Food and National Security Indar Weir has described the launch of 2 rums as a profound national journey uniting the past and present. There are the 3rd and 4th editions of the Terrio-driven single estate series produced at the Mount Gay Rum Distillery in St. Lucie. The spirits were crafted by master blender Trudian Branker. Minister Weir emphasized that the story of Mount Gay and Barbados itself rests on 7 fundamental pillars.
A heritage reclaimed from soil to sip, reviving the sugar industry from byproduct to crown jewel, the rum industry, our golden thread, the economics of heritage, foreign exchange and growth, the ripple effect across the economy, the spirit of Barbados, innovation rooted in heritage, and then the last one, the 7th one, from heritage to hope, the future of Barbados's economic renaissance.
Sports Night is brought to you by Power In, Pause is Power, and by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after.
Time now for the second half of sports. Damien is back.
Yeah, thanks so much, Tisha. Well, Barbados' medal tally at the Huntsman Senior Games is up to 13 as the Bajan athletes earned 9 more on day 2 in Utah. In the latest success are 2 gold medals by Kathy Harper Hall, as she won the 200 meters and the 50 meters for women 85 to 89. Barbados' count is now 3 gold, 3 silver, and 7 bronze. Ellerslie inflicted a heavy 7-1 defeat on home team Parkinson Memorial when the 2 teams clashed in the Barbados Secondary Schools Football League Under-19 competition. CBC's Anna Margaret Boyce reports.
Parkinson in the green played host to Ellerslie in the Barbados Secondary Schools football competition. This is the second minute. Parkinson driving forward. The winger skips past a few challenges before taking the shot. And the rebound falls to Jabari Chandler, back of the net. Parkinson 1, Ellerslie 0. 7 minutes later, Ellerslie were level. Pass into Kishon Alexander, who takes the shot into the bin. 1-1. The momentum then shifted towards Ellerslie, and they found the go-ahead goal. Not the prettiest you'll ever see, but nonetheless, Ellerslie 2, Parkinson 1. It went from bad to worse for Parkinson. Ellerslie at it again. Nice midfield play, and the ball finds its way to Kiamiko Worrell. Side-footed finish. That's 3-1. To the second half we go, and it was more of the same. This time, Shashin Holford will get his name on the score sheet. Ellerslie leading 4-1. Alexander then picked up his hat trick in the 69th minute. As cool as you like. Check out the skill and the finish. Marvelous to make it 5-1. Ellerslie got one more in the 76th minute, and it was the best of the lot. A Canny Charles from distance. Absolutely brilliant. As it ended, Ellerslie 6, Parkinson 1. And more Goodrich boys. CBC Sports.
Orange House has retained their title as champions of the Queen's College Inter-House Swimming Championships. Competed today at the Wilde Aquatic Centre, Orange amassed 397 points. Second was Blue with 347, and third Purple 345 points.
We're at the Queen's College Inter-House Swim Meet. Wonderful support in the stands. Let's get into it. Just in time for this heat of the 15 and over girls freestyle. 4 entries going. Keep your eyes at the top of the screen. That's Mariah Maycock in the closing stages of this 100-meter event. She would pull ahead to touch the wall first for Purple House. The boys equivalent, this time the defending champions Orange had the speedy Theo Narayan in lane 3 wearing the yellow cap. He had opened up a decent advantage after the turn, and it was just about maintaining that lead. Stops the clock in 1 minute 10.40 seconds. Change of the skill set into the butterfly now for the under 12 girls. Jayla Blunt at the top of the screen, wrapping Purple House. She's in lane 1, had a mighty challenge from lane 5. Was pretty close, but Blunt adds some vital points with a time of 36.70 seconds. The spotlight on the under 12 boys now, and this was a display of sheer dominance from Greenhouse. Look at the form of Elijah Beckles in the gold cap. Chest and both arms moving symmetrically, and that dolphin kick meant business. 30.58 seconds, the winning time. Only 3 entries for this heat. Neil Legister in lane 1 brought home the goods for Purple with a handy 3-meter lead. And finally on our highlights reel, Micah Riley left tongues wagging, making a big surge towards the finish, coming under some examination from Blue House, but this was in the bag. Riley's winning time, 32.37 seconds. All in all, good action at the Queen's College Inter-House Sports.
And that's it from us. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. On behalf of the entire crew, do enjoy the rest of your night.